Uh-oh, we just lost Gaurang there.
So we're live on the air here with the Wing C. My name is Dominic Zinnes, and we've got Sebastian and Stas, who you all know from the last 4 AMAs and live streams with that we previously did with Bancor, CoinDash, DAOAct, and we are joined today by Gaurang Torvekar. I hope I got your last name correct.
Yeah, right.
And David Moskowitz. And so we're going to be discussing Indorse, and it's an exciting new DAO that's going to be coming out on the Ethereum network. Basically, it's a decentralized professional network, sort of like let's say a LinkedIn for the new age of crypto and cryptocurrencies. So do you guys want to take a moment and maybe give a quick sort of elevator pitch for Indorse?
Sure. So Indorse, as you said, is a decentralized professional network that allows the users to control access to their data and also get rewarded for posting claims and endorsing the claims of others. So what that means is instead of traditional networks where you post your skills, you create a network and the network operators are pretty much the sole beneficiaries of any sort of revenue that it generates, any sort of real market growth that it generates. In our vision of the platform, it's the users who are the beneficiaries, the members who are the beneficiaries of that growth because they're going to get rewarded on the platform for making these claims, for helping to build it. They're also able to selectively switch on and off what data they want to share. And depending on what data they share, again, they're going to get rewarded from the network directly.
Okay. And how did you guys, I mean, how did the team come together? Have you worked in the past? And how did the concept come about for this?
Yeah, so Gaurang and I have been working together. Well, actually it goes back a bit farther than that. I used to operate a Bitcoin brokerage here in Singapore from 2013 to 2015, which I sold. After selling that in 2015, Gaurang and I had met up at an Ethereum meetup, and we started talking about interesting, cool ideas. Eventually, we formed a company called Endorse and focused on doing digital certificates. We have a Poly that's doing a pilot with us here, a Polytechnic, which is like a college here in Singapore. And we're in discussions with some other of the universities here to form a consortium to put their certificates on the blockchain. From that experience and from that team, we started talking about other interesting use cases for deploying these certificates. And one of the things that the Polytechnic wanted to do was to push these certificates onto LinkedIn and different social networks because they wanted to see if employers were interested in going directly and validating these certificates, and HR and everyone else. So it got us really thinking about, we're pushing all this stuff to these networks, and we're not sharing in that growth. It doesn't, there's a better way to do it now, using tokenization, using decentralization, and of course using Ethereum.
Okay, so in the idea behind Indorse, it isn't just. Well, my initial impression was that it's sort of the people that are making up the network, but what you're saying is that there's a lot of interest from institutions to be able to sort of, I guess, validate sort of accreditation or other kind of data.
No, see, it started with that actually. So with Endorse, we were doing these certificate issuance system for the Polytechnic. So, in that case, it was the university who was attesting to your credential or your degree. Then we thought, okay, let's go beyond this. Let's have a bigger vision. And just instead of one university attesting to it, why not let your peers attest to your skills, to your, all your awesome achievements. So that's how we started Endorse. Obviously, it's going to start with individuals because on the blockchain, most of the accounts are individuals. But later on, we can also move to companies or company accounts. That can be like a premium account on the system as well. So that's the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And where's the app? Where's the DApp now? I mean, is there a prototype available? Can people try anything out? Or is it just in the white paper stage?
So currently, we are developing a POC.
Oh, I think we lost your
Lost your voice, right?
We can't hear you.
Oh, there you go. Back. Nope. Okay. So yeah, I'll speak for Gaurang then. So right now we're developing the POC. It's going to be a limited access for testing initially, but we are going to be taking on people to do additional testing on it, and we'll eventually be opening that up to more people to be taking a look. Yeah.
Okay.
So that'll be out at the end of the month.
Sebastian, do we have any questions from?
Yeah, we have several actually. First of all, I'll add on the previous question. How long have you guys been working on Endorse?
Oh, I think we just lost Gaurang again there. So yeah, we started back in April, May of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we've been working on that full time since.
Okay. Well, I have a question that's actually regarding Wings. What made you decide to use Wings for evaluation and social promotion, and how will you use the data from the Wings forecast?
Yeah, so obviously as a company trying to sell tokens into the market, it's very interesting to us to see what the market views as the value of the company or of the total market of the tokens. So we really like the idea of a community putting forth that information and voting on it. It's very similar to what our idea is, in fact, with Endorse, of having the community endorse your skills. So it was perfectly in line with everything we're doing. I was just saying to Gaurang earlier that we're really standing on the shoulders of a lot of these existing minds in the space that were able to take a lot of these ideas and now start to use them within our own platform. So yeah, we were just naturally attracted to it. We also like obviously the bounty program that you guys offer. That was a nice little plus that we were able to utilize too.
Okay, awesome. Let's go a little into more details. How is Endorse different from LinkedIn?
So Gaurang, I don't know if can you speak or?
I think he's still muted.
Yeah, we still got audio problems with you. Yeah, so I would say the major difference is, first off, you're able to selectively share or not share your data, and that's a big issue now, and we keep seeing more and more things written and talked about in that area. The other one is we're able to reward users for making these posts, for making these claims, and we're also able to reward the other users for endorsing those claims. And this is really, the brilliant part about using tokenization, about using incentive mechanisms, using blockchain technology, Ethereum technology to make that happen.
That's very interesting. Let's go to the next question.
Also, as far as competition with LinkedIn too, if I like LinkedIn, it's good to use, it's nice, but I haven't really seen a huge evolution in it over the years. In fact, I ask people all the time, like, do you like it? And most of them say not really, which is like it was surprising when I started asking, actually. But now it's almost every time that people say that. So there's something there to be disrupted in a way. People seem to be quite unhappy with the way that it's calcified, that it hasn't really changed over the years. If you go to a company page, there's not a lot there. And we think we can, we think we have an opportunity to do it better.
Yeah, I actually, that was one thing that concerned me, was that with LinkedIn, there does seem to be a lot of opportunity there, because I have probably several thousand connections on there, and I also run a few groups which have like over 10,000 people. But at the end of the day, it just became a spam fest, where basically you got a group on, let's say, solar energy, or, well, in my particular case, it's kind of like green energy, stuff like that. And literally, I had to like hire people to basically like weed out all the advertising in there. So yeah, there's a lot of improvement, I think, that could happen and help professionals connect with each other as well. Where a system is provided where it isn't just like a spam fest, basically.
Yeah, and if people are going to be contacting you that's unsolicited, you should have the option to say yes or no to that. And if you do say yes, why wouldn't you get a reward for saying yes to that as well?
Right. Yeah, for sure. So what have you guys thought about, like, how else would this data be used? Because, you know, like when PGP, for example, first came out in the 90s, the idea was that, you know, you have this web of trust, right? Which in a way, when I look at what you all are doing, it's sort of modeled on that in a way. Maybe I'm wrong, but in a more, let's say, there's more value in, I believe there's more value in what you're doing than web of trust was just like, hey, okay, well, I know Gaurang and he knows me, and you know, maybe we'll send some emails to each other or whatever, right? So have you guys thought of, like, what are the different applications beyond just, you know, once people are endorsed and there's all this data, like, how can that be used?
Gaurang, it looked like you wanted to say something.
I think. Hey, Gaurang,
No?
try maybe without unplug your headphones and see if the mic.
Yeah, is it better now?
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Great, great. So yeah, so I was saying that with Endorse, we are actually looking at it as a reputation system. So we are looking at Endorse as a platform on which many other dApps can be built. So suppose, you know, take case of Uport. Uport was really awesome because it can connect your physical identity with your Ethereum address. But now we are going one step beyond that, and we are connecting your professional profile, which is validated, and your skills profile with this identity on Ethereum and your real world identity. So now suppose you could start using this for KYC, or you can start using this on freelancing websites like Upwork or Freelance or any other websites. I think this is really powerful. Maybe even Wings.DAO can start using it. So, you know, all the forecasters' identities can be revealed, or, you know, they can have more weight. So suppose there's an influencer on the platform, you can have this guy being endorsed, and when it starts forecasting, it can have more weightage. So I think it has a lot of applications.
Right. Right. So in the case of people doing ICOs today, and, you know, I don't necessarily know that the ICO contract belongs to the founding team or whatnot. I would be able to, let's say, in the future, someone doing an ICO, maybe on the Wings platform, maybe somewhere else, we could basically pull in the Indorse data, right, and sort of verify that the team that the team that is actually trying to raise money is the actual team that created that ICO contract, right?
Yeah. So yeah, we see our platform. I mean, there's a lot of different types of identity, right? There's your kind of like a legal identity that government issues, and I think that that's part of what Uport is trying to do, is to bring in that legal identity into the digital universe, or the cryptocurrency universe. What we're trying to do is bring the professional career or your professional qualifications and skills into that universe. So this would be another way to validate who the person is who's putting out the smart contract, for sure.
Right. So it's more of a social validation rather than sort of government issued validation or whatever.
Exactly. Yep.
So,
although we will also integrate the Address certificate platform into that, so you will have institutional level certifications being able to be placed into it, for sure.
okay, right on. So someone like Satoshi could theoretically, if he could sign, I guess he would have to sign. He would need to actually sign, you know, one of the private keys for those million Bitcoins or whatever, right? But he could theoretically be on the platform, not undergo KYC, but people would say, okay, yeah, this is like the real guy, and I work with him, and he could vouch for Gavin or the other core developers, right? Basically.
Definitely. Yeah, that's the idea. So actually, you know, it all started with this concept that, you know, people like Satoshi or maybe Vitalik as well, they don't have a degree in cryptography or all these things, right? But they have done awesome things. They have built systems which can actually change the fundamental course of technology. And, you know, that's what we are going after. So your degrees are important, but what skills you have and what you can demonstrate is even more important. So I think that was why we started with Indorse.
Yeah, as we move towards the skills economy and lifelong learning, it's not just about certifications necessarily. It's about what you can actually do, what you can show you can do, what's your GitHub, all these different sorts of proof elements beyond just what's issued to you by an institution.
Okay, and I saw there's, if I'm not mistaken, there's some sort of integration with Oracle, is it, or is for the?
Yes. So that's my anonymous endorsement protocol.
Okay.
So the process is quite simple. When I put a claim, as in I say that hey, I can write smart contracts. So this claim, along with this claim, I had to put up a proof element. So I can put a link to my GitHub code or GitHub profile, and then this claim goes for endorsements to random people on the platform. So to choose these random people, we are using the randomized data source provided by Oracle. Because on blockchain, random number generator is quite difficult and it's quite expensive. So there were two ways of choosing random data. One is either the block hash or the randomized data source. So we are going to use both of them in the algorithm.
Okay, interesting.
That is an interesting approach.
Yeah, we're also looking at some of the other ones. I think Funfair has some interesting algorithms that they're using too, and yeah, there's some really interesting ideas coming out.
David, other than the obvious, who would you consider to be your main competitors, if any?
So in the cryptocurrency world, the one that we get compared to the most is Steemit, and we love that platform. It's a great platform. It's just a different use case. They're more into about content and uploading the content, whereas we're more into professional skills and professional network building. Other than that, I wouldn't say that there's a particular, well, Matchpool does something similar-ish, although I see them more of a kind of like a party building platform where you're building kind of like little party units that you're charging to go through your door with. So it's a little bit different, but the social network part of it is there.
Somebody also asked me about 21.co, 21.co, but it's mainly about earning money by asking people to send you emails.
Yeah, that's more about questions and answers almost, right, or messaging. So there's different similar use cases. I don't know if anyone, Ubermensch I think was doing it for a little bit, but I'm not sure if they're still on that track.
So we have a couple questions in the live chat. One is the pre-sale on the 25th or has it already started? And also from the same person, are there any plans on reducing the amount of Ether for the pre-sale to something like 50F to accommodate the recent rise in the Ether price?
So yeah, so it's 100 ETH minimum for the pre-sale. We had actually set that, I think, when it was a bit higher, so we were thinking of changing that to no, but we want to keep it open. Yeah, so the pre-sale will stay at 100 ETH. Yeah, we're taking commitments now, and we'll be open to taking those in on the 25th. The full token sale will be on August 8th. So if you would like to go in for a smaller amount, please come back on August 8th.
And someone asked, do you need to go through KYC for the pre-sale?
So for the pre-sale, yes, we're taking KYC information.
Minimal information, but we need to take that. Also the terms and conditions.
Yeah, there'll be terms and conditions, things like that you have to agree to.
Okay. And then I think this one, well, I guess we can on the Wing side talk about it a bit. So what is the cap of your token sale? So I think actually there's one thing we need to clear up because some of the people that did the very early forecasting, there was some hard cap and soft cap numbers in an older version of the white paper, right? And so can you guys, obviously you're gonna get a bunch of data from the Wings DAO members. How are you guys going to look at it and help you determine are you still gonna do a soft cap and a hard cap, and how do you look at the data to help determine what those would be based on the feedback?
Yeah, so I'm incredibly grateful for all the votes that have come in from the Wings community. I think it's around what we were thinking at as far as the hard cap actually. We're not sure if that's because of that they might have read the white paper and kind of had that number in their mind already, or if that's what they actually think that we should be raising. So it is somewhat comforting to know that we have a pretty good idea as far as what the community is looking at. And I think that, yeah, the Wings platform has really helped us understand that the community feels that this is a fair number for what we're doing.
You see, actually, we had a general idea of the hard cap, but we hadn't, set it in stone. That's why we came to the Wings DAO, and we thought, okay, let's take some forecasting from the people, and then, validate our assumptions. Because, we just had some assumptions. We didn't know how much we were going to raise. It's all based on some assumptions and, hypotheses. So I think this validates our hypothesis.
And another question we have is, which I think we have the answer to, which is it a dApp? So it is, and it's going to be on Ethereum, right? It'll be running on the Ethereum network, or what other technologies are you going to be using?
No, I'm going to start with Ethereum definitely, but later on, as the technology landscape evolves, maybe we can start thinking about cross-chain as well. But I think that won't be for the next 1 or 2 years, definitely.
Okay.
Can you guys go quickly over the functions of the Indorse token?
Yeah, David.
Yeah, so the Indorse token is the payment token for the network, for the services on the network. What happens is when this token comes in from advertisers or other people looking to buy services, it gets put into a pool, and then that pool is later or eventually distributed to the users or members who've created content in the form of claims and endorsements over a certain period of time. So this is our way of creating a reward for the users that's stable in their account. They can know how much they've earned. It's not going to vary, but at a point later, they're able to then have it converted into this free-floating token that they can then go on an exchange and sell to advertisers who then want to come back onto the platform to purchase the services.
Cool, thank you. Where are you guys incorporated, by the way?
We're based here in Singapore, beautiful Singapore. I've been here for 8 years now. This is company number 3 here. Yeah, love setting up companies in Singapore. Great place to do it.
Do you speak the language?
The primary language is English, although they speak like 5 languages here officially. It's pretty amazing.
The language is English. It's called Singaporean. It's English.
Yeah, it's okay.
English.
So my nephew, for example, he lives with us. He speaks English. His mom is Cantonese speaking. He learns Mandarin in school. He also learns some Tamil and Bahasa, which is Indonesian, and Malay, which is Malaysian. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah, they speak a lot of languages here, but the official language of business and government is English.
So what is the structure you are incorporated under? Is this a non-profit, a for-profit? Can you even talk about it?
Yeah, it's just a standard corporation.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I try to keep things relatively simple.
How do you guys plan to expand the adoption of Endorse?
Yeah, so that's why we're actually looking to do the sale in 2 phases. The first phase is for initial product build map and initial go-to-market. And then the second token sale will be for moving it to mainstream, right? Paying for marketing, advertising, things like that to bring in the Main Street users. We have a unique ability on the platform to incentivize users to bring in new users as well, because we have the internal reward mechanism, which is unique. A lot of platforms don't have that ability. So we're able to incentivize users to invite other people to do endorsements, to invite other people to the platform. So I see a certain amount of virality to the platform in itself that should help growth. But we're testing ads in the market now, and we're seeing a lot of traffic for people who are interested in joining a professional social network and earning a reward for participating. We're actually seeing really good ROI on that.
Just to make it clear, when David says that we will have 2 token sales, it means the first token sale, which is happening right now, 8th August, will distribute 35% of the tokens, and the second will distribute around 40%. And the first token sale will consist of the pre-sale plus the token sale on 8th August. So right now, whatever we are doing until 8th August is the first step, first phase.
Okay. What's the size of the Endorse community at this moment, and do you have any plans on expanding it before the ICO?
I'm sorry, I missed the first part.
What is the size of the Endorse community at the moment? Slack, Telegram, other channels that you have?
We have more than 2,100 users on Slack right now. It's growing at a really fast rate. And including all the other channels, Facebook, we have, I think, more than 6,000 people likes and,
So the project is getting a lot of interest and traction.
Yeah, for sure.
Very nice. What do you guys plan to do with the funds you're going to raise during the pre-ICO and the ICO itself? How are they going to be used?
So, Gaurang, you want to talk about maybe the product roadmap?
No. So we are going to spend most of the money on the development of this in the first token sale. Mostly it will be spent on development of the product technology, around 65%. Then the remaining will be spent on business development, marketing, and operational expenses. So as far as the development goes, we are aiming to release the first live product on the mainnet within 9 months to 1 year. So it again depends on the roadblocks and all other things like Metropolis plus other really experience. So yeah, but that's our ballpark figure right now.
So, go ahead.
Okay, you mentioned that the first product will be out in it'll take you about 9 months to 12 months. You said that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and will the token be trading in the meantime, or it's gonna be locked?
No, the token will start trading.
Yeah.
So actually, we're just thinking of putting like a 1 week grace period between the token sale and the token trading. We haven't figured that out yet. But we already should we tell about Gitcoin?
Yeah, so Gatecoin has already told us that they would be listing the token, which is great because, I mean, part of we need that for our model, right? We need advertisers to be able to purchase the token and for the users to be able to sell the token to the advertisers. So exchanges are critically important to us. So we already have that lined up and we're in discussions with a couple of others. Of course, you can always go to Ether Delta and do it decentralized, which is a fantastic platform as well. But yeah, we're talking to a number of different exchanges to get it listed.
Okay, great. And how does the platform work with regard to, okay, so I'm a user, I get the viral aspect of it, like I want Sebastian to endorse me for working at Wings, right? And working at
no way, man.
But so if I sort of invite him, right? And he gets some kind of Endorse token, right, for endorsing me, and I get some. But where is the how does the anti-Sybil and anti-spam work with regard to this?
Yeah, so for the Sybil attacks, we have two solutions. We are thinking of two solutions currently. One is Uport, and second is partnering with Civic. So we are already in touch with the guys at Civic. We are trying to figure it out how we can start using them. And as far as the endorsements or gaming of the system, as I said, the choosing of the endorsers will be at random. So there might be people who don't know you or you don't know them, but they will endorse you based on the merit of your claim. So if you say that you work at Wings, but you cannot prove that online or in a very normal fashion, then they won't be able to endorse you. And also we are thinking that the claims are going to be objective. So if you say that, hey, I can bake a cake and I put a video of me baking a cake, then you could be able to endorse me. But if I say that I can bake a tasty cake, then you cannot endorse me until you come and taste the cake. So those are the things we are looking at.
Okay. And so multiple people can endorse you for a particular skill or.
Yeah, so we're looking at the pool size. We're thinking of a pool size. We did some analysis of this of between 5 to 7 as being optimal. Yeah.
Okay. So once you reach that threshold, then you're, well, more or less you have been endorsed for that skill, right?
No,
Yeah.
so the
So
thing is that it also has a proof of stake mechanism. As in, when the claim goes out for endorsements, suppose 7 people will also have a consensus threshold. As in, when somebody is endorsing, they have to stake their reputation, and you, while claiming, you have to stake your reputation as well on the claim. So if suppose Sebastian and Stas, they start endorsing you maliciously, they go and start saying no, 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 no to every claim. Uh, then they'll start losing their reputation slowly, because out of 7, if 5 people are saying that yes, you actually work at Wings, and one guy says that okay, or 2 guys say that you don't work at Wings, then it is safe to assume that they are acting in a malicious manner,
Got it.
similar to the proof of stake concept.
So you have some kind of reputation system layered into this as well, basically.
So we have we have 2 tokens. One is an external IND token, which will be listed on exchanges, and one is an internal token called SCR, which is a reputation token. So this token goes on increasing or decreasing based on your activity on the platform. So if you start endorsing in a proper way, you will start getting more reputation. It's similar to like karma on Reddit, or points on Stack Overflow. Points. So, and again, this score is important. Reputation is important to get more endorsement requests. If you have a very bad reputation, you won't get as many requests as a guy who has more reputation.
I got it.
Does the system have a Endorse option? I mean, let's say somebody proposes for skill. I know the guy, and I know that he does not possess that skill. Am I able to mark that, or is it just I just don't endorse?
Yeah. So you can either endorse a claim or you can flag a claim. So you can say yes or no. It's a binary option, yes or no. So if you think he doesn't have the skill, you can say no, and then when everybody says no, it will be unverified, and the person, he will lose his reputation.
Understood. Oh, I have another question from the community. Did you learn any lessons from the recent hacks/exploits? How do you want to prevent something similar from happening to you?
Yeah. We learned a lot of lessons, and no, really, that day actually we were at the Coin Agenda conference when the Coin Dash has happened. It was really unfortunate, and we have been taking a lot of precautions for that, securing the MAC address for the servers and everything. So we are doing all those things.
yeah, the whole steps, every step of the server needs to be secure. So we're taking steps to make sure that happens, as well as when you're posting the address, to do it in a way that can be validated either by video. So I'll hold up a video showing like the actual address to validate it, and also Matt from Etherscan is one of our advisors as well. So he'll put a notification on Etherscan that this address is a valid Indorse address, that the contract address is valid, and I'm sure he'll be keeping an eye out for spoofing ones as well. Yeah, but
do you
that's
guys plan
very
to? Yeah, absolutely. Do you guys plan to hedge the funds that you're going to raise?
Yeah, definitely. So the plan currently is to sell 25% for dollars and Sing dollars, 25% for Digix tokens for DGD Gold, if you're familiar with that, because we really like the idea of a nice stable digital token. And then the other 50% we'll keep in Ether, and we'll certainly try to pay our contractors' employees in Ether. In fact, we were just talking about this the other day about making sure that our salaries are paid in Ether, because we're all quite comfortable with that, obviously. And it's a great way to help the ecosystem as well.
Who will do the auditing of the crowdfunding smart contract?
Yeah, actually, Loy Lu is doing the auditing. Loy Lu has developed the ONT network, and he's also one of the contributors to the Ethereum protocol itself. So, yeah, he's doing the auditing right now. It should be done, I think, for 2 or 3 days.
Oh, so it's already under auditing.
Yeah. I sent it out yesterday.
Okay, awesome. Here's an interesting question. Why do you think your team will succeed?
Well, we've been together for a long time, Gaurang and I. We work well together. We're building up a great team to make sure that execution happens. So I think we've shown that we can execute. We've shown that we can execute either on B2C products or B2B products. The B2B being the Polytechnic. I've done B2C before in Coin Republic, selling to the masses Bitcoin. And I'm very proud to have helped hundreds of people get their first Bitcoin here in Singapore. I just realized the other day that everyone who bought Bitcoin through my service between 2013 and 2015 has made money if they kept it, which is pretty cool. So I love helping to help people do well. So I think that the team is all highly motivated to make this product a success, to make the platform a success, and to really see this idea of decentralization really take root, and we see it as the future. So we're very happy to be a part of it.
Well, you mentioned you started to mention the Taurus and the fact that you and Gaurang are basically two of the co-founders. Can you go a little into more details about that? I understood what you said about what a Taurus is and what it does, but how does it fit in with the new project other than using those contracts? I mean, will any of the funds be used for a Taurus, for development of a Taurus?
No.
If you can go into a little more detail about that connection, I think that would be very nice.
Sure. So yeah, Endorse is we've been putting Endorse as a contractor to Endorse. That has more to do with the fact that Gaurang and the Pash, our team members here in Singapore, have work visas for Endorse, and it's somewhat tricky to move them into a new entity without causing problems. So it's just simpler to pay Endorse a consulting fee to do the work on the project. I'm a permanent resident here, so for me it's relatively easy for me to bounce from company to company. But for these guys, it's a bit trickier. So it's just a simpler way to do it. And yeah, that's all there is really to it.
So please go ahead.
No, Endorse has a good brand name in Singapore, and the product is also working. So my plan is actually to take that code, open source it, and start using it in Endorse as well. So it will be one of the founding pillars of Endorse to begin with. So that's also one of the reasons we want to keep it around. But definitely, our time will be focused on Endorse. We are already working on it.
So if I understand this correctly, basically there's a team that works on Endorse. I'm sorry, on Taurus, and you guys are working on Endorse at the moment. That's how it works.
So it's a much bigger team over at Endorse. So Endorse, there's 3 of us essentially, or 4 of us who are from Endorse who are now working at Endorse, and we have a bunch of more people too that are now in Endorse as well.
Another question is about your advisors. You have a very impressive list of advisors. Could you talk about that a little? How do you make those connections? How do they fit in? What do you plan to achieve by utilizing those advisors?
Yeah, so we're very fortunate. I've known like Coincilium and Eddie Travia for years now, back to when I was in my Bitcoin days in 2013. And we've been speaking to him, or I've been speaking to him about different projects over the years, from Coin Republic to Endorse to now Endorse. And when we told him about Endorse, that's when he became really excited, which was like a good validation actually to us, because I couldn't convince him of the other ones prior. And as professional VC, vets deals, sees where things are going. So that was quite interesting. Yeah, some of the other people, again, we've known a lot of people for a very long time. We've been in the industry a very long time. I've known Matt Tan from Etherscan since I think 2015. I had helped the DBS bank here do a hackathon, and I had met him during that period. And who else? Louis Liu, yeah, goes back.
With Digix, I started the Ethereum Singapore meetup back in 2015. So it's been 2 years now. So when we started the meetup, we were only 5 people in one of the second meetup. It was me, Digix guys, and the autonomous guys. And now we have 1,000 people. So, we have seen this ecosystem grow in Singapore, and we have been working on that together. So that's why we know the Digix guys really well. They are our good friends. So we used to share the office with Digix and Ethereum Foundation, Vitalik, until last month. So,
yeah, that was actually pretty cool. So we were in the same space with Vitalik and some of the guys from the foundation. So it was kind of fun to be able to, ask him a question every now and then.
wonder how many people ask Vitalik questions every now and then.
Oh, he's very gracious with his time and with his answers, even to someone who's not nearly at his level.
He is actually. I've had the chance to talk to him several times. He's really great. He answers emails, and he's an awesome guy, really. Well, I had another question. Where did I put it? Okay, we answered this one. Oh yeah. Do you guys plan to attend any conferences in the coming month, or maybe you have some speaker spots? If so, could you please share with us where that is?
So next week we're going to be going up to China for the ViewFin or FinView conference in Shanghai next Sunday and Monday. ViewFin, yep. And then we'll be heading down to Australia after that to Sydney meetup and the Perth meetup to meet the community down there, because we haven't had a chance to meet them before. We'll also be up in Beijing, I think, as well as Shanghai next week.
Awesome. There's a ICO Summit, I think, next month. Oh no, it's in September actually. Yes,
oh, okay.
Yeah, I might go to that, and I might go to this conference by Mike Moskowitz as well. So works at Cloud Mentor and Tasks. Yeah, maybe London as well in September. And obviously,
yeah, if we can score some DevCon tickets, we know they've been sold out, so we're trying to.
Maybe you can talk to Eddie. Maybe he can hook you up.
That might be possible. We'll have to leverage some connections.
Well, those were my questions that I had, and the questions that I got from the community. Stas, Dom, do you guys have any other ones?
I think I'm good. I'm good. I got my questions in.
Yeah, I got a question which I heard about when you spoke about the two token types, one for the index, one for the rating. How you guys plan to prevent the second token from being tradable?
Yeah. Sorry?
How do you keep the second token from being tradable?
Yeah, because
so in the reputation token, the transfer function in that token will return false or return throw an error. So if somebody tries to transfer or transfer from, it won't happen. Even approve and all the allowance, all those things won't work. But it essentially, so it will be minted and burnt only from the platform.
Understand. Okay. One more thing. As you know, probably the Ethereum is sometimes overloaded. I mean, for platform, we've seen this already. There's ICOs and stuff. Yep. And people appreciate quick reactions on their actions. Do you guys plan working in some area of state channels in order to accelerate the communication on your platform, the endorsements and stuff like this? Like we see the gaming companies now doing on Ethereum.
Yeah, exactly. So we are definitely going to use state channels and maybe the Raiden network as well. But even before that, so we are using zero knowledge proofs in the anonymous endorsement protocol, the algorithm for endorsements. Right now, it's quite expensive. But with the Metropolis release, ZK snarks and all these things are going to be a part of the protocol itself. And I think that will make the algorithm even more efficient. So that's the first step. And definitely in the second step, we'll use state channels.
I see, understand. Okay, this was my question.
Okay, guys, so I think that is it, unless anyone has any other questions. No? Okay, awesome. So I would like to thank you both for joining us today and for shedding some light over Indorse. I would then like to invite everyone that is watching to head over to Wings AI and forecast on Endorse. The forecasting will still be live until tomorrow. I wish you guys a lot of luck during your crowdfunding, and I hope that it hits the exact mark.
Great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Have a great talk with SEO. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.